are you?
I'm good, good.
Mm. Uh, Mike he might be running a little late, but
Okay.
going to be joining us at some point tonight.
So we can start off with our um, warm up before, do the warm up, the fitness warm up before Fitness Mike comes on the show.
Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. How are
I'm good. And you?
you? Well,
Great.
thank you.
So what are we talking about today, Nalini?
Okay, so we're talking about the benefits of fitness.
Okay.
And well, Mike is the expert,
Hmm.
and I'm sure he'll have lots to say. um, it's just talking about his new program that he's got, and
Okay.
families coming together and exercising together. Um, yeah, yeah. Are you? Do you gym? You do gym, don't you?
I belong to a gym, yes. I belong to a gym, yes.
Oh, sorry. Yes, that's exactly what I meant. Yes. Do you go to the gym? Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's one of those things that do you know what? I think it's an interesting thing is like what are the challenges? What is it about the whole fitness thing that probably is quite that is a challenge for some families, do you think?
Um, the lack of motivation comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's always a short-term goal.
Right.
I Days, oh my God, I've got like 4 months to go. Like, oh my God, I need to get into my bikini. Like, oh my God. Right,
Yeah.
go on your holiday, you come back and it's like, oh well, yeah, I'm done.
Mm.
Um, Whereas I think when you're making it a lifetime goal,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's when um, you see a big shift.
Right. Yeah. I can see um Mike is has joined us. So I'm going to see if our techie skills enables us to invite him on. Yeah, I think, hey, we did it!
Hi, ladies.
Hi, Mike.
Oh, wow. Okay, this is my first time doing anything on Instagram Live like this.
Oh, oh.
Yeah, we don't usually use Instagram Live, so this is a good experience.
Well, welcome, Mike.
Okay.
Are you keen to introduce yourself to um, those that are online listening?
Yeah. So my name's Mike. I run a company called Team Fitness. We're based in West Berwick. We do a lot of fitness for families. And I'm on this Instagram now. I'm just watching this whole setup. This is lovely. Yeah. Yes. So I'm just here to obviously share the new service that we're doing, and just obviously, hopefully, inspire families to get more active.
Fabulous. And for those that are joining us from Mike's followers, we are The Gifted. We're a youth charity based in Hertfordshire, but we cover Essex and Enfield as well as Herts. We deliver workshops in schools, mainly for teenage girls, but we also work with boys and mixed genders as well. And it's mainly around building confidence, raising their self-esteem, and making young people more aspirational about their future. So fitness is a good part, is a real important part of that. Nalini and I were just discussing what we think are the challenges of for families to be fit and healthy. And one of the questions she asked me is, do I go to the gym? And I said, yes, I am part of a gym. Yes.
Oh, but you say you are part of a gym. Do you get?
You picked up on that really quickly.
Yeah, a different whole.
Because you've heard these responses a lot, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've even downloaded the Better Me app. Not that we're advertising anything here, but yeah, I've even downloaded apps onto my phone that
Yeah.
should be allowing me to do fitness things at home, things like the wall Pilates and all those kind of activities. But there's
So can I
downloading
ask,
apps, there's joining gyms, there's actually doing it is another thing.
how long have you been a member of your gym for?
I think we're looking at about 6 months.
6 months. Okay. And how often do you go?
Really?
I, I'm just asking.
I
Everybody's a
can
member of
probably
the
count
gym.
on one hand how many times I've been in 6 months.
Okay. Yeah. So you're what we call a donator. Like, so you just donate towards the gyms.
That's
It's,
terrible.
I know.
I know, I hate that.
Mm. But
I
it feels
hate
good to say
that.
you've got a gym membership though, right?
Is it a good thing that I've got gym membership?
No, does it feel good to say that you've got a gym
No, it
membership?
doesn't. Not the fact that I don't use it, but I have a feeling that after tonight's show,
Mm.
tomorrow morning, I'm going to be in the gym.
I don't think you probably will be, but it won't be the right. I'm just being honest. Like, don't let me like get you excited and go, all right, tomorrow I'm going to the gym. Last 7 days, and then that's it. But I can tell you how you can at least start shaping your mindset to actually think, okay, you know what? Let me find a different purpose for why I've got a gym membership and why I should be going.
Mm,
I hope you understand that, and obviously everybody that's watching can hopefully start thinking like that purpose for why they're actually getting in shape for, really. Yeah.
okay, gone over to you.
I'll start it off for you. Right. So right now, most people tend to want to go to the gym, obviously, because they have personal goals. They want to lose weight, gain muscle, get fitter. Sometimes even because they've got health issues. So at the end of the day, it all comes down to them. They are
Mm,
thinking of themselves. They need to get better for themselves. But then the question we have to ask is, okay, what is your purpose? Why are you getting better for yourself? What is it? Why are you doing it for? Basically. And again, people drive back to, I want to live a healthier lifestyle. I want to feel good in myself. And then eventually touch on the final bit, which is the real purpose. I want to be around for my family. I want to be an example for them. I want everybody in my family to get fit. But they always start with their personal needs. But
mm,
the last bit that they say is the real reason, the real purpose of why they get in shape, the real purpose of why they want to live longer or live a more fulfilled, healthy lifestyle is because they're doing it for other people. And it's not necessarily saying friends, they're doing it for their family, basically. They want a healthy lifestyle for themselves in order to be around to support our families. So
mm,
if you bring that to the forefront of your thinking, yeah, that is your purpose. That is why
mm,
you now will go to the gym. That is why you now will be continuously doing things. I always say a simple example will be think about work, right? You go to work not because a lot of the time because you love your work, you enjoy it.
Mm.
Yeah, if you did, you would not want to get paid for it. You would want to just go because you love it. But you go because financially you get paid and it supports who? Your family.
family.
So the
Mm,
days you don't want to go to work, the days you feel ill, the days you want to put a sickie, your family is the
mm,
purpose why you go, basically. So if you now have that same mindset when it comes to your fitness, yeah, the days you're tired, the days you don't want to go, there'll be 1 or 2 days where you mess up, but majority of the time you will go because you now have a bigger purpose to do it aside from yourself.
yeah.
That is what we preach.
And that's interesting you said that because I was speaking to a friend yesterday and we were talking about aging parents
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that, you know, a lot of us have had to care for our parents in their old age. And part of our family responsibilities is becoming a carer to our parents. And one of the things that struck me is the long life that my parents in particular, have led.
Mm.
And it's like they're like, oh, the genes are strong in your family. You guys live long. And I'm like, yeah, wow. If I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling now, I'm only halfway through my life,
Mm.
which means that I've got another 40 odd years which has to be really healthy. It has to be a good quality 40 years of living, because I can't afford for my health to deteriorate now, and live 40 years in bad health, and then, those kind of things of thinking about, when was it that my mum stopped, her mobility went down and she wasn't able to walk as much as she did, and all of those kind of things. It's like, yeah, I've got to surpass that, or I've got to be on par with that. Do you know what I mean? Is that making
It
sense?
does. It does, because obviously when your parents were growing up, there was a lot of stuff that they physically had to do. Like, you had to physically walk certain places. Like, there wasn't a lot of transportation around. You had to physically cook meals from fresh.
Mm,
Have changed. And I think one of the things that we could possibly be doing wrong is thinking, okay, I want to be the way my parents were or are, but we
mm,
can't. Like, we are
mm,
now, we have so much access to stuff, yeah, and so much access to technology that we have to utilize it. We have to find the best way of using it. So for us, it's understanding that, okay, we have access to all this information, access to all
yeah.
this technology, but it's how can we use it to now better ourselves. So for example, let's talk about your gym membership that you have, a Pure Gym, 24 hours, yeah, it's open for. So if it's
Mm.
open for 24 hours, now it's a case of, what is the reason why you can't go? Okay,
How
first,
did you know it was Pure Gym?
when I hear, when I have my donators, who you donate, people say I have a gym membership, and I know they go, I haven't been for 6 months. The business models of the Pure Gyms, or those 24-hour gyms, that is the business model. Like, for you not to go, but to charge such a low amount that you wouldn't even notice it coming out of your account. It's a brilliant business,
Mm,
and it works basically. Like, they'll tell you, well, you've got it at £15, you have it for life as long as you don't ever stop. So now, even if you don't go for a year, 2 years, you're forever going to pay that. Here's the reason I asked you, does it feel good to say, I've got a gym membership, but you don't go?
mm,
So again,
mm.
this is my industry, so I understand the
You
business.
know,
Yeah.
yeah.
But again, just going back to it, saying that, yeah, the gym's open for 24 hours. What is your reason why you can't go? Well, it's 10 o'clock, it's 11 o'clock, it's 12 p.m., it's 2 a.m. Get
Mm,
it? You have all these other reasons, but again, using the technology and access we have now, they've made it possible for you to go. We've now, using the science, have made us understand that you don't need to be there for 2 hours.
mm,
You can be there for 30
mm,
minutes, 45 minutes even, and it contributes towards something. We've now learned that, all right, doing weights, some form of weights, actually is great for your muscles, great for your bone density.
mm,
All this science that we've now benefit from that our parents didn't know. Our parents used to do manual stuff and walk for miles.
mm,
They didn't know, well, yes, you can walk for miles, but again, your bone density is not going to obviously increase the strength if you're not lifting weights. We've got that knowledge, so this is how we
mm.
can utilize it in our time. Just
Yeah.
so all these are available to us. It's just, like I always tell a lot of my members here, it's called the power of choice. Like, what choices are you making? And then in the end, if you're making the right choice for yourself, surely you'll make the right choice for your family as well. Yeah.
So, what do you think about teenagers that are, struggling? Well, not struggling, but they don't prioritize fitness and health, or,
Um,
or
yeah, for me, I guess like everybody else, you can say, oh, social media, obviously they're under a lot of pressure. But then I have to say, well, it comes down to parenting. Like, for me, is social media has an influence if you as a parent allow it to have an influence with your child. So with the kids, this is why we've kind of created a product we've created where we're like, well, the parents should be the inspiration. Like, if your parents are not active, if your parents are not doing any form of exercise or anything like that, how is it going to then be passed on to you? Let's go. If your parents consistently get takeaways every night for you, how are you ever going to learn about the right way to eat? You're just going to follow pursuit.
mm,
It's only when you become an adult and you potentially move out and hopefully your circle of friends introduce you to a better lifestyle, it's when you make the change. Otherwise, those habits will be stuck with you. So for me, it does start from home. So again, it starts from the seed. which is the parent. The parent has to make the changes. The parent has to be disciplined. And from that, even if the child is not coming along on the journey right from the beginning, you stay consistent for 6 months. Your child is watching you. Like we all know, kids learn a lot more from watching. So you're sitting at the dinner table, he's having McDonald's, you're having your healthy meal. You've done it 6 months in a row. He's seen mum now active, moving around more. Mum's now talking, look, I'll come and play football with you. She's running up and down and he's now out of breath. He's going to start thinking now, whoa, yeah, that's it. It's not always about words with kids. It's just about action. And I think a lot of the parents are missing out on the factors. Be the example, be the inspiration. They don't need to be inspired by influencers, social media, not even me. They just need to be influenced by, I've watched my mum, I've watched my dad, and look, they've done it, I can do it. Yeah. Hope that answered it.
That's great. Nalina, do you think sometimes we as parents forget that we are our children's biggest influencers?
I think I do. I very easily, but yet they're constantly watching you.
Here they are.
Yeah, and it's funny because Mike and I were speaking a few weeks ago, and I said, I'm just struggling with exercise. He said, do it in front of the kids. He said, do it in front of the kids and get them to just not sit there watching you, but they can watch you from afar, like they can see you doing it without. And he said, do you remember, Mike? We us having this conversation.
Yeah.
And you said that, and I was like, okay, just to get some movement.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a confidence thing too, I think.
It is, like, again, this is why I say about your purpose. Like, it's a confidence thing. Like, you don't want to show your kids like a form of weakness, I guess. If you struggling and breathing heavy, like, you don't want to show that. But then again, what's your purpose? You want to show them that, yeah, that I'm human and I'm going to struggle, but I'm going to keep going. And because I'm going to keep going, I'm going to get somewhere. And you're going to see me get somewhere. When I get somewhere, I've shown you now I can do it. So I can always make a reference back to when you struggle. Do you remember when you were sitting there watching me exercise? You remember for months I was sweating. I couldn't do it. And now look at me. So that's the same process we're going to go through. Now you're struggling with your maths homework, your English homework. We're going to keep working at it every day, every day, every day, just a bit, just a bit. And eventually we're going to get somewhere. It's the laws of life. You can't put one foot in front of the other and not get to your destination. It's just the laws of life, basically.
So we're like leading by example, isn't it? So as parents, we might find we're having conversations with our young people, our children and teenagers, saying, why are you always on your phone? Like, why don't you go to sleep? But yet they may see parents scrolling in the bed at night before they go to sleep. And science has already told us that blue light is one of those things that's going to trick our brain into thinking it's daylight and interrupt our quality of sleep. But we're doing it, but we're not. But we're trying to tell our, children and young people, switch off your devices by 8 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah. Mike, I've got a question for you. What do you think the benefits are of training together as a family? Because your program is about families doing it together, right?
Yes. So with us, what we tend to do on the program is we get to know the family. We set up a private WhatsApp group for the family. So the family itself, it's not other families joining. It's your particular family and us in the group. With that, we focus on all the individuals to start off with, building a rapport with them, understanding the dislikes, understanding where they struggle the most. And then across like maybe a 4-6 week period, we now find a way to integrate the families together. So, for example, a mum might say, sorry, I'm giving an example of mum because I've just recently had a mum saying this. She said, I would love to go running. I've loved running in the past. I just want to get back to running. I used to run like 10 miles and I was really fit and it was my best I ever felt. And I said, okay, cool. So what about your son? And she said, my son does football. He's really good, but I can tell he's not great at stretching. His cardio is really down as well. And the coaches always tell me, look, he needs to do more cardio, but he doesn't want to. So that example right there, after having a conversation with the parents, right, you used to love to run, and now you've lost that. Your son now needs to improve on his fitness for his football. So for me, what I'm now doing is say, okay, after the 6 weeks, I'm finding a way to integrate you and your son. Now, there's several things that's going to come out of that. So you, as a parent, get to build on your fitness into running. You are now helping your son improve his cardio, where he wouldn't do it by himself. Yeah, no child's going to run around by himself. So now together, you're going to now both basically improve together. On top of that, parents have this thing of, I don't think like they dedicate that time to that specific child. So when you have multiple children, you seem to always try and do things together as a unit. And every now and then you might catch each other at the kitchen and have a discussion or a talk. But as well as you having two kids, you gotta remember, like, each kid is very unique. So you taking one kid out of the element of a home or away and just spending that time with that child and making that child feel like, I know I've got another kid, but in this moment, you're my world, you're it. The child will reveal some stuff to you that they wouldn't do otherwise, right? So even starting off, so for us, when we design a program, we think of these aspects and we give the parents little topics to talk about, because to start running, you're not running straight away. We do a minute run, 2 minute walk, a minute run, 2 minute walk. So when that 2 minute walk happens, you can bring up these conversations. Now, over a 3 week period, the kid will start opening up to you in ways that you thought, whoa. And if you're a good parent, you listen more than speak. So now you've opened up this whole new door. Now, by the time the program is done in, say, 8 weeks' time, the whole thing, what we look for is for the child to go, can we still keep doing it? Now, they're not doing it because of the fitness now. They're doing it because you've seen them. And this is the time where they feel like, oh, this is my parent. Even though I've got a sibling, this is my parent. And that's it. You started now a whole new thing where it's not even about the running now. It's, I've got a time with my fit. And that's what we look for. And that's what we can't explain to people that come on the program. But behind the scenes, these are the things that we're plotting. So by the time they do realize it, it's so far gone to them, it's a norm that they do it. But we've planned it that way to get them there, basically. It's good.
That was actually something I wanted to ask about. When does things become like a new habit, a norm? Is it a time frame of about 6 to 8 weeks that you can be doing the same repetitive thing that it becomes something that it's now a normalized habit for us as individuals?
No, before people used to say it used to take 28 days to form a great habit, or anything like that. That's not the case. There's a great book I read. I'm a big believer in reading a book called Atomic Habits. That book just explains to you that habits, can actually be created. You can form a good habit in 24 hours if you want. For example, let's just say you're a person that loves cookies before you go to bed every night. Okay, what happens if you don't have any cookies in your house? That habit for that 24 hours is gone. If you repeat it again, it's gone. It's gone. You might repeat not having cookies in your house for the whole 2 months. Yeah, that doesn't mean you've now solved it. It's because you've taken away the cue, the thing that triggers you off to having cookies. As soon as you put that cookie back in the cupboard, you've lost the habit again. So there isn't a time frame for habits. What it is because you're conscious of what triggers you to form these bad habits, you remove them. And because you remove them, now you can say, okay, I've gained a great habit, but I'm still working on it. An example I always use is, think of someone who's an alcoholic and now hasn't drunk for 10 years. It doesn't mean they've formed a great habit now. They don't drink and they've done it for 10 years. They know within themselves, it just takes one slip up and that 10 years, it seems like it's all wiped out. It's something that you work on. It's not a habit. It's not something that I've done it for 28 days. Now I've got it. No, you work on it again and again and again and again. It just does not stop, basically. It's like raising your child. You don't raise your child until they're 18, move out, and then, oh, my job's done. No, 26, I'm still going to come back. Mum, can you look after the kids? Can you do this? It's never done, right?
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. In terms of breaking the habit, but it's still there because it's been 2 months since I quit smoking. But Mike asked me last week. He said, "What were you about having his smoke?" And I said, "No." But that thought is there. Is like you said, is one slip, and I'm back on it, and because that feeling is constantly there.
I wonder whether it's a balance between understanding what the triggers are and reminding yourself what the purpose is as well.
I
Mm.
mean, if the purpose is great enough, when you do mess up, literally, it's not that famous saying, "Oh, I'll start on Monday." No, when you do mess up, you sit there, you understand it, and you go, "Okay, in the next 1 minute, I'm starting again," and the process starts again. So now you're not waiting until Monday. You're not waiting until next week. You understand the purpose is so big. You're like, "Okay, I've messed up. Okay, I'm going again. Here we go." And you off it. You're not beating yourself about it. You're just back at it, going again. So for
Mm.
me, it's the purpose. It's the reason why. Why are you doing this? Like that's what will keep
Mm.
you going. Like there's so many adversities now. Like if the purpose is great enough, trust me, you just keep going.
But I guess that's how it works with the whole family training together then, Mike.
Yeah. The way we kind of set it up as well is you have to imagine a lot of people, I'm going to say women especially, they jump onto these fitness programs. It's great for them. They lose weight. They're feeling the best they've ever felt. But then when they come back to normality with their family, your family's still eating the same. They still have their takeaway every weekend. So now what you're doing is, okay, I'm not going to eat as much as I did, but I'm just going to have a smaller portion. I'm just going to control it. Do that for a year, the weight creeps back on.
Mm.
The reason being your circle. You've adjusted yourself, but you haven't taken your circle with you. It's like being a wealthy man, but you're still living on the streets with poor people. Just doesn't make sense, right? You're still there. So the
Mm.
temptations, the pull is still there. So this is why the program we designed, so we say, no, you can come and join us, but understand that in 8 weeks, if we haven't pulled your whole family into it, then we'll tell you, look, this is not for you then. Like we can't get you results because we know it just won't last long term. And even if it does last long term, well, what's the point of you feeling healthy and your kids not feeling as great as you feel? Basically, like, is that your real purpose? So for us, it's that thing of, okay, we have to bring the whole family involved, and we've got like a target of 8 weeks that if one person joins, yeah, we eventually will find a way to bring the whole family involved as well.
Okay. And are you looking at nutrition? Is that something that you tap into as well when it comes to the family?
Definitely. Nutrition is obviously, everybody knows, it's number one. Myself, I don't believe nutrition is number one. I believe the exercise is definitely more important because nutrition, we can always mess up, and get back on it. But with the exercise, once you lose it, you feel it. I feel I've lost all my strength. I feel I've lost my momentum. I've lost my stamina. When it comes to nutrition, let's look at adults first. With the adults, we look at each individual adult. So for us, we don't like writing a whole template to say, okay, this is what you should eat, this is what you do. Everybody has this famous saying, right? I eat really well. Like, I have the odd cheat meal, but most of the time I eat really well. I drink plenty of water. We believe that. And we're like, okay, great. What we ask our families to do, yeah, individually, is you take pictures of your food. And every night before 10 p.m., you send us the catalogue of what you've ate and drunk that day.
Right.
That's proof now, right? So every day you send it. So now if you're honest with yourself and you have one biscuit, you're putting in that group. Now, if I look over a week and I've seen that, okay, you've had these biscuits every night, but you told me at the beginning you eat really well, right? But now the evidence is there for you to see as well, right? So from gathering that data over a month, we can now understand, okay, these are some of the great foods that you eat, that you like to eat, the times that you eat them. Then we construct the meal plan based on you now. Then we make other suggestions. So the biscuits that you have in the evening, we're like, okay, you want something sweet. Okay, what if we suggest something else? a fruit, a yogurt, or something else, and we try and now see what happens. What that allows us to do is, in 2 months' time, we can show you this is where you started from when you started with us. If you're eating, this is now where you are, and you can visually see it for yourself how you've made these improvements. Now, if we do that with the parents, remember I said at the beginning, it all stems from the parent. If you understand nutrition now and you understand how to eat, what are you going to do? You're now going to naturally pass that on to your kids by cooking the right things, by suggesting the right things, by looking now at the ingredients when you purchase stuff. Diet Coke, you're now going to look at it and understand, okay, nah, this is not diet. Now you're helping your kids. Your kids are going to show some kind of resistance towards it, but you're the one who buys the food. If you open the fridge and there's no Coke in there, you ain't got a choice but to drink that squash, right? You've helped them. So the nutrition, we literally look at every individual person and then find a way now to blend the whole family together. One of the biggest things that we've done so far, or we're still working on, is a mum that has to cook for like 4 different people in a family, just because everybody is picky and doesn't like this. We constructed a questionnaire and sent it to all the individual family members, including the kids. They all picked up some of their favorite foods and their favorite dishes. It came up on a graph and it shows all the similar foods they like. They all like the same stuff. The thing they don't like is the spices that mum puts in it. So all these years, she thinks they don't like my food because, no, it's because of the spices she uses. One kid doesn't like hot food. One kid doesn't like too much flavors. Another kid just thinks, you know, I would like more flavors, but the others don't. So I'm just going to settle for whatever's there. When it comes to chicken, why not just have 3 trays? There's your spicy, there's your flavored, there's your plain. Now mum now can cook one meal instead of thinking chicken nuggets for this one, pizza for this one. Nah, she just literally confused herself over the years. But obviously with our program now, she's hopefully getting a better understanding of nutrition for the family.
But that's handy. Because Kemi knows this, being having to cook for children that have different dietary needs, right? I think having somebody like you come in and interject and say, hold on, okay, maybe there's a different way of looking at this. It is more beneficial for us as parents. Because you do help, and it's coming from a healthier perspective. But yeah, it is coming from a healthier perspective. You're not coming in with judgment and saying, oh, you know what I mean? We would receive someone like an opinion from you better than somebody else. Don't you agree, Cami?
Oh, if someone's coming out, because someone from outside coming in to our family I think it holds some weight. It makes a difference. But then, I mean, I agree. Obviously, I agree with a lot of what Mike's been saying, in the sense that there's a lot of accountability as parents that we have to take for, obviously, the outcomes of our children, right? And even like something I did last week was, and I've been meaning to do it for ages, is when I set up a meal plan. And the other thing I did a like time plan for my day from morning to night, particularly when days with the kids, and it's literally got from like half an hour slots of the time I wake up to the time I go to bed, and how I've accounted for each time in the day. And my daughter came back, she looked at it, she's like, yeah, right, kind of thing. But I've seen the difference in terms of her understanding how important the time management is. So today, without any shouting, just by having it on the fridge over the last couple of days, I've just seen the difference in her waking up on time, getting out of the house on time. There was no kind of, look, I'm coming, no shouting, no nothing like that. And I just think there's so much to be said for us as parents to have that discipline and focus, and the impact it has on our family. And I think it does. It translates what you're saying, Mike. I get that it translates in health, but all other aspects of our life as well.
Mm.
Definitely. I mean, one thing you just said now, you know, when you said your daughter said, yeah, right, type of thing. So it's almost that saying of, oh, I've seen you do things before, and you'll drop it out in a couple of weeks type of thing.
Mm.
So this is why we set up on our WhatsApp, we set up like a family one. So normally what will happen is when you join these programs, you get like added into these groups. And it's like if you're early, it'll be like 1,000 people in the group or whatnot. So we noticed that with that, people become dormant. So with us putting
Mm.
you in the group, for us, is that accountability from the family as well. So now your daughter, for us, can't say, yeah, right, because it's for us is, well, your mum's going to support you, you're going to support your mum. So it's a case of you're on this thing together. So you really don't want her to fail, because if she fails,
Yeah.
you are going to fail as well. It's not just you now by
Mm.
yourself. Like, so
Mm.
when we set our challenges and you can run and you're great, but I've made a challenge so your mum has to take part. So if your mum doesn't pass it or quits the run, you failed regardless. So now it's
Mm.
a case of, okay, you're gonna find a way now to get your mum going instead of, oh, mum, yeah, right. No, listen, you can run. If you get there by yourself, it doesn't even matter. You've still failed. So we think about
Yeah.
things as well. So now, like you said, we're trying to teach the kids more than just the fitness aspect. We're trying to teach them the team element. Like, listen, this whole life that you're part of, you're part of a team,
Yeah.
and you're a part of millions of teams. Your friends, your work, your neighborhood, your cousins. Like, and if you can't learn to function with these different teams and you still think like an individual, yeah, that's when definitely you fail, because this world now has made it all about a team work. So you got to get that right. And it
Mm.
starts off by, for us, who would you rather support, like a complete stranger out there or your mum, to be the best of herself? And yeah, again, this is behind the scene what we design the program and how we look at things basically. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Sounds-
he needs to come and have a chat with both our kids, Ken.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
If your mama fails, you fail too.
mate, that's how life is for us. It's just, yeah, it's just, man, you can't win alone. You can't win alone. So
Mm.
you have.
And it is the
But that,
same as like parenting, isn't it? If our children
mm,
fail, we can't hide from the fact that we don't believe, as much as we will do our pet talks to one
mm.
another, we can't hide from the fact that we will feel as parents that we have failed.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just, I'm going to be a little bit raw and say it as it is. It is the case. Like, we have, as parents, contributed towards it. It might not all be us, but we have to fully accept the factors. Look, we have contributed to it. Did we pay enough attention? Did we put things in play? Did we keep them going? So yeah, you have to now question yourself as a parent. Go, okay, cool. But again, like I said, you're gonna have to live with it, and then hopefully you either make it right with your other kids, or you do talks like this and go out and preach your story and share your knowledge and share your wisdom, so another parent can learn from it.
Mm.
Like, it's not the end of you. It's just, yeah, you just didn't succeed at yours, but you can save so many other parents that you don't know about by potentially doing a podcast like this, basically. So yeah.
We try.
Try. That's another word that we don't believe in. So in our groups, we always message on a Monday. Okay, what day you work? What day are you training this week? And when we ever get the reply, I'll try and do Friday, but I've got an appointment, but I'll definitely try. For us, we're like, okay, now we gotta ask you again. Okay, what day are you doing? The try for us means you might fail, but you'll feel good with yourself because you kind of tried. For us, try means failure with honor. So are you doing it or you're not doing it? So then we can play other things. So yes, I am going Friday. Cool. Now you've given your word. We expect you to live to your word. Obviously, certain circumstances might happen, but 99.9% we expect you to live by your word. But when you say try, yeah, that's failure with honor. Like, but you feel good because you tried. No, we don't do that in the program either. Yeah.
So there's a lot to be said, but from being intentional, isn't there?
Yeah, a lot. Like, again, I'm gonna try and pick up my kids from school. I'm gonna try and read to my kids tonight? Are you trying, or are you going to do it? Because your kid is expecting you.
Mm.
You're not try, are you? I'm going to pick you up today after school. Tonight, I'm going to read your book to you. Yes. So have that with yourself as well. It starts with you, right?
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
so I'm going to train this Friday at 9. Cool. Done.
Mm. The power in that.
Mm.
You can feel that.
Mm.
One is more determined, the other is it's an
Yeah.
excuse.
I like that. Failure with honor.
Yeah. I have so many debates with people when I say that quote. I've had it for years, but I've had so many debates. They give different examples, or for me, it's just, it is what it is. Like, it's whether you accept it
Mm.
or you don't. But for me, it's simply like, me and my colleague Tom, we always say, yeah, it's failure with honor. Like, I'm not going to try and give you my kidney. You're about to die. You want me to try it? Or you want to say, listen, I don't care. You've got my kidney. Which one's
Mm.
more comfortable for you? You have to think like that. So, yeah.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yes, I think it's determination. It comes with a lot of determination and willpower. And like you said, purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Because I think without the purpose in it,
Mm-hmm.
there's no determination and there's no willpower.
So, Kenny, what are you thinking now? Like, so now you're gym. Now you're gonna start thinking, okay, what is it? Why are you really going to the gym now?
Yeah, do you know, it's so interesting because I thought, oh, am I going to try to go? And then I went to, I'm not going.
Yeah.
I went to, I'm not going. And then I went back to, hold on, what is the purpose for going?
Mm.
So I think the main thing is for me to concentrate and focus on my reasoning and my why. And I think that is where I've got to draw that motivation from, is what is my why, and making that why really resonate for me.
Mm.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, do you really want to remember you've got like half of your life to be unhealthy,
Yeah.
another 40 years of being in a very unhealthy state, which, like you said, Mike, from the beginning, it's, what does that mean for your children? What does that mean for your
Mm.
family? What does that mean for, in that time, like your family's grown, you're not even looking after young children now. You're probably a grandparent, or, who knows?
Mm.
So what does that look like in terms of
Mm.
when I wake up tomorrow and I say I'm going to try, or I get off of this call and I'm saying I'll try to go.
Mm.
And I wonder if there's something in what is it, and I'd like to know what your thoughts are. If there's any, does it help us to identify what is it that is my block that would make me not want to go tomorrow?
Uh,
Is it worth looking at that?
no, no, because it's a simple thing. Like, the reason why you won't go tomorrow, or all of us, we all have this. Like, and so honest truth here, exercise is hard. Like, it is
Mm,
actually hard. Like, there's a point where when you start the first 10, 15 minutes, you're still telling yourself no, no, no. And then at a certain point, just twist. Yeah. And then from there,
mm,
it's like, okay, I've only got 20 minutes left. And then you finish. And then at the end of it, everybody always has that feeling, I'm glad I did this.
Mm.
It's a hard thing to
mm,
do. So what it is you're now having to take control of your mind and your body. Yeah. So no
mhm,
one else is trying to inception you to do. You now have to take control of your mind and body and say, I'm out of breath. I feel like my heart's gonna pop out. I can't focus, but you still have 10 more reps to do. Do you understand? Like, it's hard
mm,
physically, and it's on you. No one else can help you. No one else can hold you up. No one else can do an extra push up for you, and you feel the benefit from it. It's all on you,
mm,
basically. So with that, it's hard. So it's you now understanding that thing of, okay, I'm about to put my body through an uncomfortable state, but I know at the end of it, I'm gonna be at least a little bit glad that I did it, and then I'm going to repeat it again and again and again and again and again until that uncomfortable state becomes the state that I desire and need now.
Mm.
And you accept the fact that you are going to have days when you're not going to do it. But like I said, you miss today, tomorrow you go again, you go again, you go.
Mm.
That is the honest truth of it. Like, let's not deny it, it's hard. Don't let anyone tell you, oh, you can do 15 minutes, you can do 10 minutes. Even that's still hard.
Mm.
Get it? Like, so it's you thinking about it and you telling yourself, just be honest, it's hard, it's hard. Tell yourself all the way until you walk into that gym. Tell yourself until you finish. And when you finish, you go, well, it's hard, I'm done. Tomorrow, you do the same thing again. It's hard, it's hard, it's hard. Do that for 100 days and let's see what happens.
And there's definitely a reward in telling yourself something is hard and actually doing it.
Oh, the psychological feeling of that.
Yeah, there's like, even as you were saying it, I was like, yeah, I want to do something that's hard.
Yes.
And I want to overcome something that I know is hard. So once we've all accepted that it's hard, it's like, yeah, that's an achievement that I've done something that I knew.
Yes.
And like everyone in the universe knows, it's hard.
Yeah. Okay, I know this is, well, it's cooking. You know, when I was growing up, my mom is an amazing cook, right? And she makes cooking look easy, but no, she makes it anyway. The point is, I always thought it was hard work until you do it and you're like, oh my God, like I did it. And it tastes nice, like hers, almost, right? You won't know until you do it, I guess, even though you know it was hard to get there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you saying that we might forget that it was hard?
No, you'll never forget how hard exercise is. You'll never forget how hard it is. If anything, you remember it so well that when you miss a week of it and you have to go back to it, oh, you remember that pain. So a lot of people, what tends to happen is when they lose a lot of weight and they've done terrific, they were strict on their diet, they worked every day, and then over a 2-month period, the weight creeps back on. And now they're re-going, join that same program that they know works for them. But now that block again, they know the pain that they went through to get that done. They know the sacrifices they had to make. So now it's that thing of, can I go through that again, knowing that I went through and it's hard enough? Do you get it? That's then the block for a lot of people. And that's when they'll jump on a different program. That's when they'll think, okay, well, I'll only do it a little bit instead of going as hard as I did. But the results, it's not the same. So then they lose that momentum. And then the second time, once they've lost that, that's it. Now it sets in. All right, this is really hard. Because everybody at certain points has lost weight, has got to the target that they wanted. And but that hardness of, oh my gosh, doing it again, has forced them to go, oh, this time I won't do it like this. This time I won't do it like that. And then the weight's crept on. Now they've got to a state of, now the mountain just looks so far and looks so hard. And now is, well, this is just me. This is what I'm going to settle with for now. And you settle.
Yeah.
You settle.
Mike, I think I'm exactly where you just said. That time round, that mountain looks much harder to go and climb. It's hard. It's hard.
But
there's benefits. I know. I've seen.
No, it's not. No, it's not even the benefits. Like, again, don't think about the outcome. Again, don't think about the results. Don't think about anything. What I always tell my members is, okay, listen, it is hard, but can I just ask you a simple thing here? What will happen if you put one foot in front of the other? That mountain in front of you, if you just put one foot in front of the other, I don't know how long it will take, but if you put one foot in front of the other, what's going to happen? You're surely going to get over that mountain.
Yeah.
Again, it's the laws of life. It is the laws of life. If I just take one foot forward, I'm always going to go forward. No time, no benefits, no nothing. It's just that simple thing of put one foot in front of the other. Then, yeah, you'll get there, right? And that's the way you see it. That big mountain now looks simple. And you simplify it. Like, the world now has made it so complicated with the marketing, with the new fads, the new this. Everybody wants that quick fix when it's simply put one foot in front of the other, keep going, and see what happens. Like I told one of my other friends, look, the worst thing that can happen, you can't even run away from the worst thing that can happen. The worst thing that can happen is you'll die. But in life, what is our end destination? Death. So if you deep it, like, dude, you're gonna go deaf either way. Why not at least go and get what you want with it? Like, do you get it? Simple as that. That's a bit deep, but it was a deep conversation between me and him, just about why I've created a brand and why I'm still going, why I'm finding different ways. Is, dude, I ain't got nothing else to lose in it. It's just, what if I can stop and live for an eternity? Then I would question it. But since I'm gonna go anyway, I might as well do something that I know that if I go, I've done something that I wanted to do, and no one manipulated me, no one pushed me to do it. I done what I wanted, and yeah, I just keep going.
So I've got two questions before we wrap up.
Yeah.
One of them is probably a little bit, it's more directed at you. I think it's just for those that are listening and still with us to give us a sense of, yes, you're a fitness this is your profession, this is what you do. And it's for us to tap into the human, real, authentic side of you. So the first question is, when thinking back to a time when you you lost that mojo to go to the gym or to keep fit, and you let yourself slide. Can you tell us a bit about that for us? What was that experience? How long was that dip? How hard was it, or what did you do to get yourself back into there? Back in.
So with me, when I take time out, yeah, it's just because I've lost my discipline. So as a trainer, because this is our product, right? So we are what we sell. So we're consistently training for it. Most trainers like to go into like competition, bodybuilding competition and things like that. I've never been interested in things like that. So for me, training has always been a form of discipline for myself. So I'll go through a phase where, okay, I won't eat bread for now 100 days. I'll go through a phase of I won't drink alcohol for a whole year. It's not because I want to get in the best shape. It's just I want to discipline myself. So when I train, like right now, I'm in a program where I'm training for 100 days, every single day, 100 days back to back, doing weights. It's just the discipline. Like I know I can use that discipline and apply it to other areas of my life as well. So as soon as that discipline is done, I now drop off training. So training is to me, it's like, well, I'm now looking for another discipline. Like what else can I now discipline myself? So do I now need to look at cardio? Do I now need to jump on mobility or something? I just pick a new discipline. That's how I view training because I've been doing it for so long. That's how I view the training. What gets me going now is realistically my members, like, and even the families. I am truly inspired by what I'm seeing them doing because you have to remember this. I am telling a person, right, that I want to personal train you. By the same time, I want to personal train your partner and all your kids as well. A lot of people question, well, my kids are 8 years old. How are you going to, an 8-year-old with a personal trainer? That doesn't even make sense. Who does that? But I'm like, no, listen, if you allow me, I can show you. And those families that have trusted us and allowed us, I'm even inspired by it. Because I'm like, I've designed programs that I've got a 6-year-old doing, and I'm watching a video like, oh my gosh, she doesn't even know what she's done. Like she's literally shown that 6-year-olds can do this. This is now just out the game now. I've gone as far as 3-year-olds. Before I had my kids, I had 3-year-olds training here in the studio. As I trained them, they didn't know I was watching them thinking, one day I'm going to do this with my kids. You have now showed me it can be done. And now I'm doing that with my son. You get it? Like, so I'm truly inspired by the people that are with us or the people that believe in us enough to give us this chance to actually personally train their families. Hope that answered it. Deep, but
No, that's good. And then my final question is, what are the 3 takeaways for families that you would want to share with us today?
First thing is, I think definitely, I believe families now should be really open to the idea of like kids and them being on a journey together in fitness. And it's not in the aspect that they see us in, let me take my kid to a gymnastic club, let me take my kids to a football. In aspects of, okay, your kid's young now, they'll love football, they'll love gymnastics, they'll love all these clubs you sign them up to. But we know when kids get to 18, 14, the love now starts to change because other things have been introduced. Now, when it comes to fitness, it's slightly different. I always tell my members, listen, your child learns to do a push-up at the age of 8. At the age of 6 years old, they learn to do a push-up. They learn 10 other body weight exercises, yeah, at the age of 6 years old. When they get to 16 and 15, a push-up is still a push-up. It does not change. Once they've mastered it, that's a part of them forever now. So even if they go into a different sport, even if they go and now join the gym, that technique of the push-up that they've learned from such a young age is always going to be the same. So now you've laid that foundation so right for them that as they grow older, regardless of what sport they dive into, they know how to move their body the right way. They know how now, if I intensify this, I can lose weight. If I intensify this, I can build strength. The foundation has been laid. So in the program, this is what we try and educate the family to understand, like, listen, you're not doing it so your kids are active the way you see it. Think a year, think 2 years down the line. Your kids have the foundation, the understanding, way more than you even did. Do you get it? And you doing a push-up and your daughter doing a push-up, Kim, it's the exact same movement. But you playing netball and your daughter playing netball is two different levels. Her fitness is different, her speed, her agility, her endurance, everything's different. But a push-up is a push-up. A squat is a squat. So that's one takeaway. The next takeaway I'll tell parents is, listen, we all complain about social media and it's influencing our kids and everything else. That's not the case. Like, we have a saying here at Team Fitness, yeah, it's called the power of choice. Listen, you have the power of choice to actually do something about social media. It's not about you blocking them or having screen time. Just be a role model to your kids. Like, you be a role model. Like you said, Kim, well, if your kid is sitting there watching you on your phone and you're driving and you're on your phone, you're sitting down, you're on your phone, well, that's showing them that I'm allowed on my phone. If you go to dinner and the first thing people do is put their phones on the table, well, you sent that message out already. So you be the role model. You be the inspiration for your kids. Like, it's not out there. You allowing everybody social media and all this marketing. Like, you've allowed that. Like, it's not them. They've just put out a product. Like, I always give the example. As bad as we all think a drug dealer is, think about it. No drug dealer ever forces anyone to take the drugs. It's a choice. It's just the person, obviously, mentality and other circumstances. But it's just there. They give you a choice. It's a choice for you to take it or not. Yeah, that's what I think anyway. And the last thing is, this one is kind of different because it's in reference to the brand, Team Fitness. We really believe together everyone achieves more, right? So again, back to the first point I made, you can't go on this journey alone. The reason why you keep failing is because it's by yourself. You get it? And that's not saying, oh, now go to the gym with your daughter, go and find a health club to now join that people are like-minded. That's not what it's saying. What I'm saying is your circle is your family. Take them on this journey with you. You might go and join another community, as they call it nowadays, and they love the community. And then when you're there, you're part of the community. But most of the time, you're with your family. You're with your family most of the time. So why is that not your community long term? Because even my members that join here, if I decide to shut my gym up and it's done, well, you've lost the community, right?
Yeah.
But those families on our program, if I decide to leave, well, you form the bond, you form the relationship. So all you're going to do is now take that and try and move into another gym or another place. You've got the foundation laid, right? You know what I mean? So go on this journey with your family, and I think this is the new era, and people are missing that. Basically, they're looking for communities outside and places. It's just your family. Just stick with them, like take them journey with you, and you'll get far. Got it.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow,
That's
girl,
amazing.
I have been off social media for like 2.5 months. I am looking. I've just seen all these members viewing. I'm like, wow. I've been everywhere. We said next month we'll make an attempt to go back on social media, but it's just, yeah, we've got a great product that we know we can do without social media, and it would be great to do without it, but we know we can utilize it as well. So, yeah, this is the first time I've been on this thing for some time, so we'll see. We'll see. I'll build the courage to get back on it, hopefully.
Well, you've shared so many useful gems this evening.
Mm.
So I think, yeah, definitely keep getting that message out there.
Yeah. I can only pray and keep one foot in front of the other, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
Keep
And
going.
we're uphill.
And ladies, thank you so much for inviting me onto it. It's my first time I've done something like this. A wonderful experience. And then, yeah, we'll see if I can do more going forward.
Yeah, and yeah, you're welcome to come back and share with us as well.
Yeah.
Even if it's a case of bringing, if you got one of your family's clients that want to come on and
Yeah.
share their experience of what it's been like for them as well.
Perfect.
I think it would be cool to hear that.
I'll let them know. Right,
Right.
Cam, very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
See
Good
you
night.
later.
Bye.
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 Okay, so that wraps us up for this evening, and thank you all for watching us on Parent Blogging.
Kemi, it was lovely,
Okay.
and I shall speak to you soon.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.